Well, we're gonna start with assembling our airbrush. Let's see, this is the Badger 105 Patriot. I've tried a couple models now, and this one's worked really well. So we're gonna go with that one. Before I put that on, I need to put a couple other things. I don't airbrush a ton, so I'm always a little bit rusty when I do start. All the way around. I did find a tip that said, keeping your airbrush in water is a good strategy to keep it from building up gunk and not working, the next time you get in. So I tried that, and the next time I opened this Tupperware, it stunk. So I do about 25 to 50% isopropylene alcohol, and then water. And it seems to do a better job. You can see some paint particles and stuff in that water that does break down and fall off the airbrush. So this is probably fourth or fifth time you use it and assembling it, taking it straight out of the water like this, without issue. So I mean, I do clean it somewhat when I finish. I don't do like a deep down mega clean or nothing like that. And then I just put it back in this and let it soak. So technically it never dries out, so it never gets hard and twisted. Pretty good little tip, as we definitely don't want to ruin our equipment. Let me see, this airbrush was around $100 on Amazon. So let me kick my compressor on. Let's see, move our folder over here. Get ready to go on that, and then this is the prime we're going to use. Matte black. Key going fast right now. Okay, so that's all 6 bikes. Let's go ahead and do the champions next. So we built a call, with the dragon helm and the power fist on this. I don't know what happened. The GoPro overheated, so it's back now. So I'll turn that fan off for a minute so I can point some stuff out. So when I airbrush and prime, I guess mainly when I prime, so you do this with a spray can as well, but when I prime, I basically think of 3 different angles. I'm going to have an upward angle at the model, so I'll hold the model down and away from me, full 360. Then I'll think of a straight on, and then I think of a angle towards me up. So instead of that, we're this way, angled up. And then even sometimes maybe it's a 4th that I'll think straight on top. Sometimes that top angle doesn't quite get everything right on top, so I'm make sure I get it all. That's my 3 main rotations, and then the 4th if I need the top one. So. All right, we've done it. We have all 40 primed, all 6 bikes, and all 4 champions. So clean these up super quick. So these are the alternate things, different gun, different crest, and then claw on one and axe on the other. The Hearthkin warriors are pretty weak in melee. In just a minute here, I'll show you how to clean out the airbrush. So I just wanted to show how I put away and set up this airbrush studio. It's really quite slick. So let's see if we can get a good angle back here. It's got a built-in light. It snaps in, and that splits into 3 pieces. Very easy. The only concern is these don't fit very well inside there, so I actually store them separate. Not a big deal. I love the rotary table, so I keep that out, and I actually use it a lot while I'm painting. Okay, pop this one up, and then I'm pretty limited on space, so try to knock a few things over. Forward slightly. This one has to go all the way around. Let's see if we can make some more room real quick. Put that one down. Oh, here goes that one. Okay, this goes on the very end, so you can just fold it in. That one goes down. And I just turn it vertical and slide it right back in there. That's my airbrush. So pretty easy. So you may notice all we've done is black. We wanted to do a zenithal highlight. Can't do that with just black. I also have about 12 completely unprimed models. So we're going to take those outside and we're going to do spray cans. Just to show the easiness of the spray can, and then also, like I said, I'm all about making it easy. And this was taking so long to sit and spray one at a time with a airbrush. So the last 12 we're going to do it once with spray can. I think if you're doing a large amount of models like this, I mean, I've probably been airbrushing for over an hour and not done, so that sucks. So we're going to go do it with spray can. I'll bet we'll do these 12 models in 30 seconds. So if it comes down to time saving and ease and quantity, you're going to do better with the spray can. But I don't know if this can show the details, but the clear coat and beautiful finish that the airbrush does, I mean, it's just so nice. The only model I've really used it on is my one Chaos Knight, and these turbo shift colors right here. I tried to brush those on also, and they're nowhere near as cool. So this one's turbo shift, and these are turbo shift, and when they come out of a spray can, or not a spray can, an airbrush, they do what they're supposed to do, and you just do tons of light little coats on top of black, and you get that color shift effect. So this guy, he's still work in progress. I have it based in. I need to paint the birds on top and whatnot, but this was a project that I'll probably put close to 30 hours in, kind of like a pet project, and I got burned out. So, you know, instead of doing a bad job or sloppy job or rushed job, I just set him to the side and said, you know, when I do want to finish him and I'm in the mood and the right mindset, we'll do it. And he looks pretty dang good as is. I want to do some decals and all that and do a little better highlights on the cloth, but I'd be happy to throw this guy on a table now and play with him. So my first cast night, and he's pretty awesome. Kicks butt too, by the way. Psycher. A lot of people hate on him on the internet, but I don't get why. He's one of my favorite models in the game. So, anyways, we're gonna go outside and airbrush a bunch more. Alright, so we're in the garage now. I'm just gonna use Rust-Oleum black primer. Stuff I think I got at Walmart. Super cheap. And I'm gonna do all these guys at once. So when you prime with the spray can, it's gotta be, you gotta shake it really well. Otherwise you'll get splatter. So I hadn't shaken it long enough, saw splatter, so I stopped. So we're gonna shake it up a little more. And then you never want to just hold down a spray can and just continuously spray. It's always spray while you're moving. So that's looking way better. It's a little more shaking. So we'll do a coat on all of them in this direction. Spin it. Do it again. And this way we're doing 12 at once rather than with the airbrush doing one at a time. This is fast. So that looks great. And we're gonna flip them. So whatever side was up goes down. You want to make sure it's not wet as well. Then I like to get down kind of more eye level and just give them a look where they'll be and see if I can see any spots that need paint. And sure enough, there's a few. Most of the time it's like behind their guns, stuff like that, and then angle up look can reveal quite a bit, and that's what you really want to be black, is the angle up anyways, so that's important. So those guys are done. So we did 12 of them in minutes, compared to we would do like 30 of them downstairs in an hour and a half, so much faster. So we'll stop the video, let these guys dry for a minute, and then we'll do the Zenithal highlights. We'll be back. Alright, so I've got my Forge World Custodes here, Legionnaire, or Legios on bike. I'm going to proxy him as a Shield Captain on bike. So we're going to show you just how easy a Zenithal highlight is. So I've got my white spray paint, been shaking it, but before I spray, I just want to make sure it's good, nothing weird. I've accidentally sprayed completed, nicely painted models with the wrong color instead of varnish once, and that was a nightmare. So I was just double check, make sure I actually have white. This is Army Painter matte white, and I'm going to just kind of brush over the top of it. I never want to come from the bottom, so we're angling from the top. We're trying to emulate like sunlight. So we're coming from the top down. Wind keeps shifting and blowing it at me. So bottom's still black, as you can see, and then from the top down it's pretty white. So we're gonna go one more time straight up, or straight down. And that should be our whitest. So that looks pretty good. So now when we cover that with contrast paint, we'll just color it that one contrast paint, but up here it's going to be like bright red, down here will be dark red. That easy. So that's our Zenithal highlight on that guy. Now let's do some smaller models, because bigger models are always easier. So first, Hearthkin Warrior. It's important that you don't get carried away, because what was the point if you do? But it's also important that you don't leave just straight black. You know, his pants are just black down there, which aren't going to hold any color. So we do want to make sure we get some white down in there to hold. You can see how far away I'm holding. I don't want it to get too much white. And let's say he's done. So that's what he'll look like. Really white up top. His helmet's almost all white. Bottom of his gun's still black. The top's white. He just kind of gets darker as he goes down, because if you look at him from the top down, all that's in the shadows. So super easy way to get really cool highlight. Really fast. So let's do a bike real quick. We'll do a bike, Einhard Champion, and we'll also do, how about we do Booster? These are going to be popular models, so. Same thing, we're going to angle it towards me. In big sweeping motions with the brush, can. Just applying a little at a time. Just getting the good coating started. So if you move too close, these little coats will just blast him in white. That's why I'm so far away, and you can see these big clouds of paint blowing around in our garage here. I don't want him to be bright white, especially from the side. So that's why we're doing these really light skiffs. And then from the top, we'll go ahead and do a bit more. So top down again, he's super white. From the front, you see the shadows already looks kind of cool. Awesome model. Let's do the Einhard Champion. Angled away. And really good distance. I bet I'm 14 inches, 12 to 14 inches here. You see he's dotty. You see all the little spots. So you might think, oh crap, I ruined it, but those dots add up and kind of create like a pixel texture, or not a texture, but like a pixel highlight until the dots meld in together and he's just white there. So, okay, from the top I'm going to go a little heavier. I want his face to be kind of bright. His face doesn't have any nothing covering it really. Gonna be probably the brightest point is the bolt's horns, and then his face and his hammer. Or they're all really gonna stand out. His shoulder blades is really gonna stand out. And then he might think he looks done. But let's look back here. It's all black. That's not gonna hold any color. So we do need to do some more coating. Even though it's dark back there, and we want it to be dark, that's fine. But we want it to have some color and not just be black, right? So a little bit more. Remember, like I said, it's really easy to overdo it. So just do a little bit at a time till he looks cool. You can tell when something's shaded correctly because it looks like it's already halfway done. One more from the top down. So calling that probably good right now. I like it. I think just about everywhere I want to hold color has got a little color, a little white on it. I think that's good. Okay, and then lastly we'll do a bike. A little bigger model. These guys are getting a little bit of overspray from our white, which would be a major problem if we weren't about to do the same thing to them. So keep that in mind. This stuff, goes quite the distance. So. The distance you're going to spray at is really going to depend on your type of spray paint as well. Some of them are going to go a lot farther. They need to be closer. You never really know. So now I'm going to go straight above it. I'm going to go pretty heavy. So our light source is always coming straight down. Well, not always. On these guys, it's coming straight down. And there we have it. So he's nice and white on top. He's still dark underneath. Hit a little bit on that back. Looks good. Okay. Now I'll just finish the rest of these 45 models or whatnot, and we'll call it a day. So we can actually get to painting. That's how you do Zenithal highlights. Thanks.